Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, move over, Sorting Hat. We're putting characters in their Fire Emblem houses. It's dangerous to go alone, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society goes with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Mark Mitchell. How you doing, Mark?
Doing great. Happy 3 days after National Lasagna Day, Patrick.
Yes, thank you. I have still done nothing to celebrate it. Actually, that's not true. I did talk about National Lasagna Day on the episode of Same Day Shipping that comes out tomorrow.
It's just that time of year.
Yeah,
National Lasagna Day is just in the air.
There's no escaping it.
Children are laughing.
All you can hear are lasagna carols on the radio. We have got a good show for you today. There are 3 houses in Fire Emblem. Do we understand them? Yeah, we think we do. We put a bunch of characters into their appropriate houses with special guest Ryan Mogge. But before we get to that,
we have 3 things that we need to cover up front.
Right, and they are not Fire Emblem houses. First thing we need to cover, Sonic Force's borrowing program. You know you want to participate in it.
You know you do.
Yeah, it's not like a question, do I want to participate? You want to participate in it.
You're human.
Yes.
You breathe oxygen. You crave the ability to play Sonic Forces. Patrick's copy of Sonic Forces on your Nintendo Switch.
Here's something that you should know. I got an email from Chase, which reads, "Hello, I got your copy of Sonic Forces quite a while ago, and I only played it for an hour before I lost so many brain cells I couldn't keep playing. Now the game is in my Amazon shopping cart, so it can sit on my shelf and collect dust. Please talk me out of it. Thanks, Chase." So, Chase, I'm not going to talk you out of it.
No!
This is a mistake that I made. So
misery loves company, and so do owners of Sonic Forces.
So if you are interested in borrowing my copy so maybe you do suffer the same fate as Chase, you should email us at nintendocartridgesociety@gmail.com. And I send it to you and it's free, and then you send it back and that's free. So that's all very good. Next item, second item number 2, Donkey Kong Country 3. We are having a high score tournament where you have to play Donkey Kong 3, get your highest score, take a picture of it, and send it to us. That can either be by email, nintendocartridgesociety@gmail.com, or you can tweet it at us at nincartsociety.
But you got to do it by August 23rd.
Got to do it by August 23rd, otherwise it doesn't count.
And you want it to count because you could win Donkey Kong socks.
Yes. Also, I would like to let the record show that I have submitted a score.
Patrick really raised the bar here.
I really raised the bar with over double Mark's score from the last time he was saying that he was getting pretty good at the game.
But now you know it's really on.
Now it is on. And of course, Donkey Kong 3.
Which means it's on, but who really
a little
cares?
Wonky. Yeah. Of course, this should go without saying, but no cheating, no rewind feature.
Don't be the Billy Mitchell of our show.
Don't be.
There's already one of those.
Who's the Billy Mitchell? Oh, just Billy Mitchell. And then last but not least, we want to play your Super Mario Maker 2 levels. Send them to us. We'll shout them out on the show and talk about how frustrated we were trying to play them. Does that entice people to?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a scale. Maybe we're not that frustrated.
Oh, sure. All right, Mark, that's enough screwing around. Let's get to the meat of the show. Let's put characters into Fire Emblem houses with Ryan Mogge. We are joined today by podcaster Ryan Mogge, podcaster and good friend.
Oh, thank you. Hi, guys.
Hey, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited you're here, and we're not going to be talking about a terrible video game movie.
I know.
Yay! We will have you back at some point in the future to talk about another terrible
That is
video
your
game
curse.
Movie.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Hitman.
Ooh, boy.
When it shows up on a Nintendo
Okay, there we go.
platform.
That'll do it.
There we
We'll
go.
have to see if like it was on like the DS or something at some point,
I could see there being
or like a
Hitman game
Game
on
Boy
DS.
Advance
Mm.
version.
There were a lot of those like games where you're like, this shouldn't be on the there was a Resident Evil game on Game Boy Advance.
We could definitely talk
Game
about
Boy Color.
We could definitely talk about Max Payne if we wanted to.
I'm in.
That's a terrible movie.
What was that on Wii?
No, it was on the Game Boy Advance.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about today. Look, guys, Fire Emblem 3 Houses is out, and there are, you might have heard, 3 houses in this game. It's a school, and schools have houses now. Did Harry Potter establish this? What does this go back to?
I think it's rich prep schools, right?
Yeah.
Boarding schools.
I mean, I assume that as well.
because like even Harvard has houses,
They have houses. They're called houses.
but they're where they live. But also
Hmm.
they have houses,
Okay. It's like the greater social structure is divided up into houses.
right? Like, Tommy Lee Jones and Al Gore lived in the same house.
And see, I always just assumed that was just them living in the same house and not like I get the idea of like a frat house.
Well, I think it's both those things. Like,
Sure.
Mhm.
that is both
Harry Potter,
dormitory.
like yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
But I think for, and I don't know. I know more about Harry Potter than I know about the real world. But
just a blanket statement.
I mean, it's just true. But I think it's fairly closely the house system or the house concept is fairly real for prep boarding schools.
Yeah, I don't think it was invented by Harry Potter.
Sure.
And I think it's probably more intense and more like, I don't know how you stay to your team for like you can make 12-year-olds and 14-year-olds do that.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
right,
It's,
right.
it's-
Whereas
it's
like in
more-
college you can't
yeah.
really make
Well, because you do it
that.
naturally when you're like 12 and 14.
Yes.
Yeah, it's more tribal.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, I know a lot about Harry Potter. I know a lot about Lord of the Flies. So between those two things, I'm telling you, they're
I mean,
very tribal
between those
people.
two things, I feel like you've covered the real world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I need to go outside again.
Yeah.
But so the 3 houses that we are discussing today are the Black Eagles, the Blue Lions, and the Golden Deer. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to talk a little bit about the houses, and then we are going to sort ourselves into the houses. And then we've prepared 24 different fictional characters or celebrities. We each did 8, so it's kind of a blind draw here. We know only a third of the pot here, and we are going to determine where they all go. And Mark, are these all going to be definitive?
As always.
Okay, all right, good. So just so we're on the same page about all of the houses, I wrote little blurbs that I emailed to you guys, but I'm just going to read them here, and we can talk it out more if we need more clarification. So the Black Eagles, I wrote, I kind of see these guys as the Slytherin of the bunch, but with way less obvious evil. They're based in tradition and have a rigid social structure. They can be overtly political and engage in some less than savory activities to attain power. The leader of their house is Eldegard. She's arrogant and fearless, but cool and collected, and an extremely powerful warrior. Any questions about the Black Eagles?
No,
No,
not for
I
me.
think I get it.
Okay. The Blue Lions, law-abiding and heroic. The Blue Lions are the least personality-driven of the houses. They're knights and soldiers and all very bound to duty. Clean cut, you might say. Their leader is Dimitri, who is pretty focused on being a right and honorable good boy. And then I was reading a Kotaku article about it, and that article mentions that one of the joys of selecting that house is that you get to watch how they collapse as everything gets more chaotic, that they lose their sort of connection to reality, which makes me think I need to play this game through as every single house and
Multiple
times.
times. I mean, maybe we should get a whiteboard in here and just start making
Yes.
the little every decision
Every
you make
single
so you can
one.
go back.
And then the last house is the Golden Deer. Rather than coming from a line of kings or emperors, the Golden Deer are from the Leicester Alliance, which is comprised of prominent merchants and lower lords with some kind of sliver of representative government. This makes them a little bit more like the lovable losers of the 3 houses, but with the loser quality dulled by the fact that they are frequently very clever and successful, almost like Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff had an industrious baby. Their leader is Claude. He's playful, affable, and has some truly altruistic goals.
Okay.
So for me, I feel like it is easiest to kind of like have these represented by Harry Potter
Yeah,
houses.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
definitely, the way I'm looking at this is the
Mhm.
Black Eagles, like you said, Patrick, are much more like the Slytherin,
Mhm.
just like less overtly evil.
Yeah.
They're not racist.
Yeah.
Right. So there is, if you do select the Black Eagles as you're playing Three Houses, they are the only house that has like a split within them where you can choose to become the villains of the game.
Oh.
So there is a version of the reality of this game wherein they are just outright the
great.
villains.
That makes it even
okay.
easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes it very simple.
And then Blue Lions, Ravenclaw.
See, I almost see the Blue Lions as Gryffindor. They're like Gryffindor, Ravenclaw.
They're like the Percy Weasley Gryffindor.
Y-
Because,
yeah, yes.
like, I mean, that dude is.
Mm-hmm. Anal retentive.
yeah.
We were all dancing around it. Weren't sure if we could say it.
we can.
But when it fits, it fits.
And then the Golden Deer that I think Hufflepuff plus Ravenclaw are sort of together.
Yeah.
Because like they are like the friendly. It means that there's like no outright Gryffindor in the bunch.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of how
I can
it
work
feels.
with that.
Okay, cool. So do we want to start by sorting the three of us at this table
It's really.
into these three houses?
Yeah, I think I have to. Well, again, not that we have to totally lean into the Harry Potterness of all this, but have you guys been sorted by Pottermore?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I refuse.
You're such a liar. You did it with us, and you just didn't like
That's
your
right.
answer.
I hate it.
But you're here as witness, so now we know what the answer is.
Yeah.
I just don't like being a Hufflepuff.
He doesn't.
Oh, wait. I was hoping we'd all be something different because I too am a Hufflepuff.
No, I'm a Ravenclaw. I've gotten Raven Puff before, or like there are tests in the world that have given me Hufflepuff, but I think those are usually when they're asking you like moral questions.
It's
Gotcha.
Because Hufflepuff is kind of the most.
the most
Good.
moral of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when they really get to like your actual personality and your, I think it's ethically I'm a Ravenclaw, but morally I understand Hufflepuff. I think.
Okay, so how about when we play D&D, what's like our favorite alignment?
Oh.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not good at sticking to an alignment. I usually end up. I usually just end up being a little bit more like chaotic fun, which I know isn't an alignment.
I
but
mean,
like,
I guess if you start with chaotic, whatever you want would be the
Yeah.
second word.
I mean, I guess I was trying to find like an easy way
Yeah.
for us
Yeah.
to do this, but I guess we might just have to put each other into
I mean, yeah, I think that's kind of.
boxes.
We've known each other a long time.
yeah,
Yeah, we have.
We've seen each other's behavior, so like, it's
Yeah.
not guessing.
No, and
In
we've,
action, what
we've
are you?
worked together
We've
as well.
worked-
So like,
Yes.
yeah. I think Ryan is a
Mhm.
blue lion
Yeah,
because you like rules.
I do like.
you
rules.
like structure.
I do.
I've never like seen you freak out when the structure goes away,
Yeah,
but we've had some intense conversations about when the structure starts
Yeah.
to go away.
I don't. I like order, and I think this is what probably makes me a blue lion. Both, I respect order and rules that exist,
Mhm.
but in the absence of order and rules, I'm pretty sure I could come up with some order and rules that we could all follow.
Harry Potter and Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, there we go.
No, see, the only
Totally.
things I know.
Yeah.
So if I will accept the mantle of blue lion unless.
Unless
I mean,
it
here's the thing. I
belongs-
feel like the black eagle is a tough mantle to wear.
Totally.
So
yeah.
I'm not wishing that on. I don't think
Thank
any of us
you.
is instinctually where
Right.
we want to be.
Right. Well, and I mean, I think it's also not totally fair to just lump them in with evil because, like,
Yeah.
Sure.
evil is a possible outcome of a black eagle, but not not a certainty. So, like, I think they're more based in like tradition, and then like that's sort of the angle of it that we
Right.
can
But
go
also
from.
they're the coolest. So which of the three of us is the coolest?
They are kind of the coolest. This is a great question.
I'm not that cool.
Well, I mean, Patrick, how much do you like Fiddler on the Roof?
I actually don't really like Fiddler.
Okay.
Is that an inverse relationship with cool or?
Well, no.
direct? Okay.
Well, I mostly
not related
mostly,
to cool at all.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Mostly just because I was gonna make it easy because Fiddler on the Roof has a song called Tradition,
Mm.
Tradition.
and if you don't like it,
Right.
Like, I like Fiddler fine. So I'll take the mantle of Black Eagles.
Okay, and that means that I will take on the Golden
Amazing.
Deer, being the clever but lower class losers.
Yeah, maybe we should have done it by class.
Yeah. Let's talk about what class we are.
Sure.
Okay, Ryan, I'm giving you this black marker.
Thank you.
Mark, you are getting
Wait.
No.
Give that to me. You get the blue
My
marker.
order,
Okay.
loving soul, just was like,
So now we are each representative of one of the houses,
Mm-hmm.
and we will go through and whoever ends this with the most characters maybe wins.
Yeah,
Do we
totally.
have a winner of the night?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, for me, it's gonna be who has the best characters.
Sure.
So, but yeah, let's
There can be two categories of winner. All right. Well, we've got our houses.
All right.
Let's pull a name from the bowl.
Yeah. All right.
Go for it, Mark.
Oh, okay. Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind.
Okay.
Sure.
There's. Oh, are we supposed to be arguing for ourselves or being honest?
No, I think
No,
just
I
being
think-
honest.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I feel like my first instinct with her, because if there's anybody who cares about tradition, it's a pre-Civil War Southern belle.
Mhm.
Tradition might even be something she would put in her own crest.
Yeah, that
So
she
I-
clings to like almost to a fault.
Yes, and definitely class-wise, she's used to being on the top.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's too surface level.
Well, I think the one that we can rule out Golden Deer right away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's either a Black Eagle or a Blue Lion.
Well, okay, so it's been a long time since I've seen the movie.
Mhm.
But my memory of it is that like she has gone through a lot of stuff, but she's very like she doesn't really change that much. Like in the beginning, she's very concerned about class and like position and how her appearance is. And at the end of the movie, despite everything she's gone through, she's still kind of hung up on those things. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, her
Well, and like
arc-
works to keep up those appearances.
yeah, it's the arc is really just like, wow, she lived through some tough things. Like that's that's how they set it up. Because you're right, she doesn't move to the north.
She doesn't really like change as a person.
I mean, I think she, and I'm sure there's probably a Margaret Mead fan now who's gonna get mad, but like, she changes who she is in love with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's treated like a character arc. So like the beginning, she's in love with this like wimpy guy who doesn't really like her very much, and that's her whole deal. She's like in love with Ashley, and then by the end, she realizes she loves Red, who's like the dashing Southern like I don't know hunk. So it's like that's treated like an arc, but is that really an arc?
And you're right, and like like through the movie, there are moments of like growth
yeah.
and change. You know, like the first half of the movie ends with her being like, but really she's just resolving to never be poor again.
Yes.
Right? Like she's just being
Yeah,
entrenched
she's like, it
more.
was hard to be poor.
Yeah.
I don't wanna.
And so I'm just like entrenching myself more in that like
Mhm.
feeling that I had at the beginning of the movie when I was kind of like a spoiled kid.
Right.
So I think that kind of puts her in line with Eldegard, right? Like the leader
Mhm.
of the Black Eagles. I think she's a Black Eagle. Is
Yeah,
is
no,
what,
I
is
think
what we're
you're
coming
right.
down to. That she's like strong and resilient, and leans back on tradition and like social structure, but not in a way that is like honor bound necessarily, but just like that's the station that she believes that she's a part of and like pursues that kind of blindly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she does believe in like Southern gentility and
Yeah.
all of those things.
But
But-
almost like as an artifice than like truly believing.
Yeah.
I don't. It'd be like being a chivalrous person without really being like
Yeah, she's
having chivalry. If
Right,
that
she's
like
not actually
distinction makes
kind.
sense. Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Okay, so yeah, I think we're all in agreement
All
that
right.
she's a Black Eagle.
That's
Caw-caw!
it was a beautiful eagle you drew.
Thank you.
All right, I'll pull one now
Okay.
from the bowl. Fozzie Bear
All right.
of the Muppets.
Yes. I didn't write that on there. I thought we'd get it, but I did accidentally not think about it at first and wrote Fonzie. And then I was like, that's not right. And then I was like, that's even a different guy. So you'll see if there's a Fonzie in there.
Fozzie Bear.
He's very silly. I feel like, okay, my immediate
Right, is Golden
Deer.
Golden
He's
Deer.
of
Yeah.
the people. He's
He's
charming in his way.
Mm-hmm.
He is definitely he's very old-fashioned though.
That's true.
But I think like personality-wise, he
Yeah.
has that sort of like, and I hate to keep going back to this, but I don't really like Hufflepuff sort of like
Yes.
vibe to him, you know, where
Right.
he's like he's like a good person who or bear who at the core tries to do the right thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he is like like sillier
Yeah.
and not as I don't know, you wouldn't think of him as necessarily being like the bravest one.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we were talking about stand-up comics,
Yes.
the kind of stand-up comic Fozzie Bear is not a Blue Lion. Honestly, there's not that many Blue Lion stand-ups.
Ooh, who is it? I didn't put any stand-up comedians
I
in
didn't
here. Did you
either.
guys?
Okay.
Who of because I can picture some Black Eagles, right?
Yeah.
That are stand-up comedians.
Yeah. I mean, I think like Anthony Jeselnik is up.
Jeselnik was who I was thinking as well.
Who is a Oh,
Blue-
Gary Goldman is a Blue Lion.
Would you say that I'm blanking on his name. Kid Perfect. Comeback Kid. He was
Oh.
on
You'll keep naming them.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
Mulaney?
New in town.
yeah, Mulaney, yes. John Mulaney, I think
He
I
might-
think
a
he's kind of
blue
like a blue lion.
He might be a blue
He
lion.
might
That's
be.
right.
Bees are the rare blue lion for sure.
And I think that if there was a sorting hat for these situations,
Yes.
that Nick Kroll was hearing Black Eagle, Black Eagle, Black Eagle, but he said Blue Lion
Interesting.
and snuck it.
I think that's probably right. So Fozzie Bear though.
Okay, but he's not.
He-
Right? He does.
No.
He's a golden deer.
Yeah.
Do you think like Patton Oswalt is a good like analog for?
Oh.
I mean, obviously their comedy is Fozzie Bear and Patton Oswalt,
Right.
Not the same sort of comedy, but I feel like
Yeah.
they are both like friendly in a
Fri-
weird,
yes,
like approachable.
But also like feels beta immediately. Like
Yeah.
doesn't. Whereas I
That's
think,
part of their
Mhm.
persona
yes,
for sure.
Part of their
Yeah.
persona is that.
Where would we put Doug Benson in all of this? Would he also be?
he's a golden
he's
deer.
a
But
golden
I
deer
think
as well.
he secretly has the skill. Like he could go undercover.
Yeah, like I actually think for like Doug Benson to me feels like the golden deer is definitely like the face he chooses to wear for his
Yes.
performance.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We should have done this all with stand-up comedians.
We could have.
Dane
it turns
Cook.
out. Oh,
Uh,
he didn't get in. He plagiarized his
shoot.
essay, so they wouldn't let him in school.
Ryan, if you would like
Oh.
to pick the next one.
I'm closing my eyes. I don't know why. Oh, Rey from Star Wars.
Oh. Okay, I'll shoot from the hip and say Blue Lion.
Well, okay, but why? Because Blue Lion, because she's like obsessed with the like the idea of family, even though like we don't know who hers is.
I don't even know that it's so much that she's like obsessed with family, but like she obviously is like very much looking for her place in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen either of the two movies, that's the entire point of this trilogy.
Wow,
and
you're just laying it out there.
Yeah, shoot.
But so to me that like idea of she strives to be like that law-abiding and heroic person.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's like that's where she would want to put herself.
Yeah.
Is in the Blue
Yeah.
Lions.
I think that's right. I can't really think of a compelling case to put her in either the Golden Deer or the Black Eagles. So
Yeah, I didn't know I was gonna be a Blue Lion.
yeah.
But when I chose Rey, I thought that too, because I think it's the like hero first. Like there
Yeah.
is, for whatever other hesitations she has and like stumbling blocks she has through those movies, there's never a question that she's on the side of helping people, of protecting people and being a hero.
Yeah,
Like
and
she doesn't even when she's having her weird
yeah.
mindscape dreams. I don't know if there's a name for them.
I don't know.
I know what Fit calls them. But like, even in those moments, it's not. She's feeling empathy for someone that she thinks is evil, but she's not ever thinking, "Oh, I'm going to go help him
Right.
or help his side." Like she never
right,
wavers
like
from
help him
what's
to be
heroic.
more evil. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely like, on the good side.
Well, and that she's also like resigned to be part of like the structure and lineage, whether she is a Skywalker or not.
That's true. She brings back Jedis.
Yeah.
There aren't
Yeah.
any, and she's like, "Hey, we need more
Hey,
rules."
yo.
Yeah. I also think Kylo Ren. So you were talking about.
Sorry, can I put a kibosh on Kylo Ren talk?
Oh, okay. All right. Great.
I'm excited.
To be continued.
Okay.
I like that so far we each claim the name that we have pulled out of the bowl. So
Yeah,
far.
we'll see if that
It's
continues.
interesting.
Okay. Also, did everybody grab their own?
That
No.
was
I
okay,
grabbed
so yeah,
it,
all right.
Ryan.
Okay. The next one I'm pulling is. Oh, so this is another one I wrote down.
okay.
I said just the cast of Seinfeld. I feel like we
Ooh,
have
okay.
to do it.
Yeah, we got to do it.
Okay. So
This could potentially, I guess, get broken up amongst the houses.
sure.
So I may need to borrow your guys' Sharpies.
Okay, so Jerry, I think, is a blue lion.
Oh, really? I was going to say Black Eagle.
Yeah, you don't get as successful as him and all those different girlfriends.
No, you're
and his
right.
whole
You're
thing.
right.
He's like, he's got power.
He's Black Eagle.
Yeah.
What about George?
I think George is also
A Black
Eagle.
Eagle?
He's just like the worst Black Eagle.
Yeah, like, you know
He's
how they
not
were
the-
saying they
His-
were branching paths?
Yeah.
I think, like, George potentially, given the
Is like
opportunity,
the
would
evil
go
one?
full villain.
Yeah.
So here's the problem. I think Elaine may also be a Black Eagle.
I think only
Kramer, I think, is the only one who he's not, like, conniving enough. Well, even that's
But
not true.
Yeah. I think
They may
okay,
all be
he could-
Black Eagles.
I
I
think
mean, I guess that is the point of the show.
yeah, I think they're all Black Eagles.
I think because Cosmo Kramer is the only one that you could argue is like he has schemes, but
Mhm.
they are usually like more good natured.
Yeah.
or like
I guess-
frivolous.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the rest of their schemes are all driven by like sex or like getting back at people.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Um,
vindictive stuff.
Yeah, and like you know, Kramer just wants to like build levels in his apartment. You know, like
Yeah. I mean, but doesn't he also try to shut down that chicken place?
yeah, but that's because he can't sleep. Like he's
But
in the
that's
right.
still, he's coming for him.
I think they're all Black Eagles.
I think they're all Black Eagles. I
Yeah.
think that Kramer can hang better with the golden deers than any of the rest of them. But that's who cares?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past
Yeah.
Kramer to float between all three houses.
Yeah, and I think Mr. and Mrs. Costanza are golden deers.
Mr. and Mrs. Costanza.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so too.
that's probably right.
Cool.
All right. I will pull the next name.
All right, mix it up, get deep.
Gonzo.
Wait, I love this. I just want to understand. Did the person who wrote Fozzie also write Gonzo?
Nope.
I wrote Gonzo.
I love this even more. Because I wouldn't have mind if somebody was just like, because we were all kind of struggling to think
Yeah.
of people. If somebody was just like going down the cast of the Muppet movie,
Right, it was like I'm just gonna put all the Muppets in there.
yeah. Okay.
Ralph almost made the cut.
Gonzo.
I think Golden Deer.
Why though?
Because I think Gonzo is not confined by like rules or tradition.
Mhm.
He is
He
sort of the most
follows his
outside
heart.
of social structure
Right?
of any kind.
He loves
yeah.
chicken. He loves a chicken.
He is in love
That's
with
right.
a chicken.
and he's not, and no,
Is
that's
not a chicken.
traditional.
It's an untraditional relationship. Yeah, and he's also, I think a lot of Muppets are men of the people.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they're
there's outliers
all
like Miss-
artists.
Yeah. I mean, there's like Miss Piggy,
Yeah.
there's Waldorf and Stadler, but like you take them out of the mix,
No, for the most
they're
part,
all working people.
yeah.
So they're mostly golden deers, I think.
All right.
Not that we're doing all the Muppets. I'm just, I don't think
we are doing at least two
at
Muppets.
least two Muppets. And all the stand-up comedians.
But
So-
do you think Miss Piggy would be a blue lion,
I think
or do you think that she like tips far enough into maybe being power hungry that like Black Eagle?
Miss Piggy is a very complicated character. And I think
Yeah,
that a
and-
lot of times what we see of her is a reflection of how she's been driven crazy by how people are acting around her, particularly her gaslighting sometimes boyfriend, Kermit. So it's like some of her power hungry stuff, I think, is just her trying to regain control in a world with so much push-pull.
Mm-hmm.
But she does karate chop people.
Only when she's mad.
Well,
That is, I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily better to karate chop somebody if you're not mad.
You're right. She does karate chop people, and she is. I think, and I think I'm projecting because of Slytherin, and just because of some of the things I read about the Black Eagles. But I think there's an inherent like snobbery thing.
but she's not snobby.
No, that's what I'm saying. So maybe
Yeah.
she is a Black Eagle, because I don't think the Blue Lions are self-righteous, but self-righteous and snob are not the
Yeah,
same.
those are
Right.
different. Well, anyway, Gonzo is
right.
Gonzo's going to the Golden Deer.
All right, I'm digging deep. All right. Matlock.
Oh, Matlock.
Oh, okay.
Now, this guy does like the law.
Yeah.
It's
I
kind
will
of his
say.
thing.
Big fan of the law. What's Matlock's deal like personally? Like what's his personal life like?
He like he likes being sociable with his friends, but he's never like
Isn't he a-
dating.
I thought he was a widow.
Probably
I think he's a
widower.
Widower.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes. He's a widower, and I think he might even be I feel like his niece works with him.
Yeah, yes. I think
Okay, so there's an element of like family in the business.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's probably a blue lion.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
where
I think
I'm
he's a
leaning
blue
as well.
lion. Though he does spend a lot of time with the golden deer. Like those are his people that he protects
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure.
from Black Eagles.
Yes.
But I think-
Matlock really like touches all the houses.
That's
you
right.
know?
Yes.
He's like the new Kramer.
Oh my God, what would Matlock even do
With Kramer?
with Kramer? Like, if they were like stuck in an elevator together.
Oh man, that's a crossover I'm really sad didn't happen. Or really if Matlock was like the 5th member of the Seinfeld cast.
Is he just like busting up their schemes all the time?
No, he's still friends with them.
Oh, okay,
Like
alright.
he's trying
Oh,
to solve
man.
murders while the rest of them are like getting petty revenge.
I mean, honestly, now in the background of every episode of Seinfeld that you watch, you can just assume Matlock is out solving murders.
That's right.
I like that.
Because you
That's
know
right.
Jerry's not going to volunteer to help do for surveillance
No,
or anything.
no, absolutely not.
6 characters in, and we've all assigned the person who pulls the character
What?
to their house.
I
What?
think magic may be afoot.
Yeah. I've also okay, all right. I'm gonna try to really mix
Yeah,
these up.
really mix them up, Mark.
All right, here we go. Lieutenant Ellen Ripley.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Ripley.
So I'm gonna say
Mm.
I was
Not-
I was
not
going
a
to say
golden
not.
deer.
I was going to say not a Black Eagle, but I don't know actually if that's true.
I mean, she definitely. I know that class isn't the primary determinant, but she is. She is golden deer.
Yeah,
mean,
but she
I think she reveals herself to be a Black Eagle or have those personality traits.
or
but
possibly
she
a blue
comes
lion.
from the people.
Sort of though, because like she's a company woman for sure, but like you can see the class divide on the ship in the original Alien.
But no elite people. No elite people were put on that ship to go there.
That's true, but I mean, even like within that though, like there are the obvious like crew
Grunts.
guys, and then like I guess I'm not really sure what her title is on
Science
officer maybe.
Just like one of the laziest writing thing, but multiple people have done it. Science guy.
She does science. But she also like puts up a big thing about not letting Ash and the crew back onto the ship when he's got the alien attached to her face, and so she's like, no, this is the protocol, these are the
That's
rules.
true.
I mean, that's true then, but like, you know, like in the second movies and in the later movies, she's very much like, you know, when somebody's trying to tell her what to do, since she has lived, you know,
Yeah.
the experience, she's like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And even if you are my like ranking officer or my boss or whatever, I'm not
Yeah,
going
that's
to listen
true.
to you. In fact, like I would kind of argue that you could say that she is a little bit golden deer-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think she's necessarily a blue lion, which is where I would have put her
Yeah,
on like first thought. I feel like as
Yeah.
the series goes on, she becomes more golden deer.
I think that's probably right. And by the third movie, she's spending, not that she has a choice, but all this time with like prisoners too. That makes her more of like a person of the people.
Mhm.
And like it's not like she one of the things you had written down here for like golden deer is that they're kind of like a little bit like lovable losers, but that the loser is dulled by the fact that they're very like clever and like successful and resourceful.
Yeah.
And I think like it's not like she in any of the movies, right? She's not like revered for having lived through all of this stuff by people who should be listening to her. You know,
Right.
she is kind of considered just a cast off or a loser, but she is very like resourceful and like takes matters into her own hands.
That's a really good point, and one that I was not considering, because like that is one of the defining characteristics of the other two houses, that they are led by great leaders. Claude is not a like bad warrior, but he's not, like the Dimitri and Eldegard are like the standout units for those houses. So yeah, I mean, maybe she is a golden deer.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where I would.
I think she's a golden deer.
All right.
I think she's the baddest ass golden deer that ever existed.
I think that's probably
Totally.
right.
But yeah, man.
A golden deer is a
she's
golden
so
deer.
Amazing.
She is.
Oh, Ripley.
All right, Patrick.
All right. Well, pull another name out of the bowl. Garfield.
Is there only one of those in there?
The remaining are just Garfield.
I mean, I put Garfield in twice.
I only put Garfield from Tale of Two Kitties.
So I think the problem with Garfield is not a good person.
He's not a good person. He's not a very dynamic character. Like
Yeah.
he's not a hero. I don't think he's ever, except for some of those cartoons where they mess with him and make him less Garfield-y. He's never the hero.
No.
No, he's definitely not a hero. Like,
No.
he doesn't want to be a hero.
No. So I would say I'm not to just deny him my house, but he does not belong with the Blue Lions.
Yeah, he does seem like a evil path Black Eagles.
You're right. I think he's. I agree that he's a Black Eagle. I think some of it is just like. I mean, he cares very much about order. Like
But order on his own terms.
Yeah.
totally.
Like-
Yeah, not John's order.
No.
No.
And like Odie is a mudblood.
Yeah, he
You
does.
know?
He does not care for Odie.
No.
Or Normal or anyone.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
Garfield have any friends?
He has a girlfriend,
He does have a girlfriend.
That's
sometimes.
true.
but obviously Garfield is somebody who like subscribes to the game theory. He definitely like watches
He's
those
always
pickup
nagging.
artists. Yeah, totally. All right, I'll take him.
All right, here
All
you
right,
go.
he's yours.
Here's Garfield
Yeah.
for you. Ryan, I believe
right.
it is your poll now.
Kat Stratford from 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, this is great. Cat. Okay, she's rebellious.
She is rebellious.
She likes music.
She likes music. She has a very strong sense of right and wrong, and
Yep.
doesn't, but not necessarily the rule of like, because she doesn't necessarily respect her father's rules
Right.
or, the social structure that she's
Mm-hmm.
a part of in high school. But she definitely has like she'll stand up for what she thinks is
So
right.
she has like a moral code,
yes.
but doesn't necessarily like fit into the larger social structure.
Yeah. So what are we thinking?
She's okay. If we're gonna say yeah, but she is overtly political.
That
Like,
is that is true.
Wants to have a political effect.
Whew. She could maybe go in any one of these houses, right?
She could. I think she'd be miserable with the Blue Lions
That's probably true.
because she doesn't really want to hear other people's laws.
But she doesn't really. She feels too like dynamic. Like she take to be
Yeah.
a golden deer. That being said, we did just put Ellen Ripley.
Yeah, that's
as
true.
a golden deer. So
Kat would. That's the only reason Kat would
and the
want to
most
be a golden
slothful
deer.
person, Garfield, we put as a Black Eagle. So
Look, he's ambitious when he's going after lasagna.
That's true.
Look, he mails his friend to Abu Dhabi every week.
It's amazing you just called him a friend. I think that if Kat probably read about Ripley and wants to go be where Ripley was. Like I think she'd want to be among the golden deer.
I mean, I'll take her
But
if that's where we think she belongs.
I think she's a Black Eagle
Yeah. Just
wait, in what way?
in the way that she has very strong ideas about where other people belong. Like, she thinks she knows better than everyone else.
So she
how
like
it should be. She's not affable.
right. So you're saying like she's like overtly political and believes in a social or rigid social structure, even if it's not the one that everybody else subscribes to.
Yes.
And because like Heath Ledger's character, he would be a golden deer, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He like tries to keep it inside.
Yeah. He's like a tough
Yeah.
golden deer.
I mean, I also will take Cat
Yeah.
with my collection of like
Garfield, Seinfeld.
You have the weirdest
and
house.
Scarlett O'Hara.
I mean, I got Ripley hanging out with the Muppets.
That feels right to me. That's like a Muppet Show episode.
All right, let's put
All
Cat
right, you got it.
Okay.
in the Black Eagles.
Back to me.
Yep.
Okay. Kylo Ren.
Oh wow.
So, like you were saying with Nick Kroll,
Mhm.
where he would, have the sorting hat on,
Yes.
and it'd be like Black Eagle, Black Eagle, Black
Yeah,
Eagle,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he would choose to go to Blue Lions. I
Mhm.
think for Kylo Ren, he would hear Blue Lions, Blue Lions,
Yeah, he
Blue
would.
Lions, and he would choose to go to Black Eagle.
But I think he chooses to go to Black Eagle just because he knows that to be the evil one.
Yes.
And I think what he's really chasing, though, is just being his grandfather. Like, more than being evil, I think he is interested in being his grandfather.
I think he's interested. I think what he wants is respect.
Yeah.
And I think in that way he does want to be his grandfather because his grandfather was in his mind feared / respected.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And so I agree with you, but I think it's like I don't think it's like the grandfather part necessarily that is like the override, right?
Yeah.
It's not like he like. I mean, I guess he does, but to me, it's like the respect that is what is driving him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I think like he does fit in Black Eagles because like he's kind of a little bit like I mean not a little bit. He's like Iron Fist, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
that
yeah.
is true.
Yeah, and I think
I mean, it is
Yeah.
hard to not to put every villain into the Black Eagle. So I just want to make sure that we are clear,
right,
Yeah, and not like defaulting him. To
Well,
that.
and I also think that like you could very easily. We've been saying there's two prongs to Black Eagles,
Mhm.
yeah.
and I don't think that he is the true. The core of him is not like the true villainous part, even though he has done a lot of like horrible things.
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
murdered tons and tons and tons of people.
Yeah, I mean, including like family members to their face,
Right.
in front of their Wookiee friends.
Just like right up on them.
Like that's cold-hearted. But no, I think you're right that a lot of it is about respect, and I think he believes that he's returning to a tradition.
Yeah.
And it's hard though also to separate like these people's life experiences from their
Yeah.
core character, because like there's also the piece where because Luke would be a blue lion.
I actually think he would be a golden deer.
Interesting.
Oh, I don't know about that. I would also think that because he was excited to like follow in his father's footsteps, like per Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like I think he is based in tradition, and like he pushed away from like his aunt and uncle. Part of that is because he knew he had like another life out there.
But I think that's his arc in A New Hope. But I think his arc throughout like the rest of the series has very much been, like although obviously at like the end of The Last Jedi he kind of like returns to this idea of like, oh no, there is purpose and like value in having somebody who acts as that like beacon of hope.
Yeah.
But he outside of A New Hope, like he never really wanted to be that person.
But he does pursue it so actively is the thing, and like although I mean his arc is messy because like he does like that's part of what like Empire is that it's like a split between him wanting to help his friends and like live out his destiny. That's sort of like the struggle between being Golden Deer and Blue Lion, and like in that moment he chooses Golden Deer, but kind of like returns to Blue Lion by like the end of Jedi even.
Well, yeah, and then he's like literally running a training camp for Jedis.
Yeah. Anyway,
Like,
Luke.
legitimately, he just goes and is like, I'm just gonna be the master, and it's not like he then goes and hangs out with his family,
Yeah, that's true.
or
That's true.
or even just like waits for the call to adventure to.
Right.
But he goes, hey, no, I'm going to like make soldiers,
Yeah.
And
No, that's
then-
totally fair.
and then yeah.
I think for Kylo Ren, I honestly would be happy with him in either Blue Lions or Black Eagles.
Yeah, that's where I'm landing right now. Like, there can be evil people or people with like unscrupulous.
And honestly, if we think of
desires.
like the law, I mean, isn't that what
the First Order.
the First Order is?
Yeah, I guess
So
so.
now maybe, yeah, I think he's a Blue Lion who would pervert the Blue Lions.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Oh man,
take him, Ryan.
I don't want him on my team, but Matlock will
Ray
straighten
and
him out.
you have Ray and Kylo.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Is that my poll?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Wario.
Whew.
So not a Blue Lion.
Right.
No.
I think that's the only one we can rule out.
Yeah.
He's pretty chaotic, right?
He's greedy.
Okay.
He's chaotic. I mean,
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
fair. He's a lovable loser. Lovable in the sense, not in like not in the fiction in which he lives, but in like our world, right?
Mhm.
Sure. Yes.
He is
Are
a
you
lovable
pitching
loser.
a sequel to Super Mario Brothers?
The
That's
movie?
that's Wario in our world.
Yeah.
Wario IRL. I would watch that.
That's what I.
But he's ambitious in that like he goes treasure hunting.
I mean, he's greedy,
He's greedy.
He's
but I mean,
greedy.
and like he chases it. It's not like an idle greed.
but it's not like he's like all about rules and structure,
No.
unless it like benefits him.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of prominent merchants in Golden Deer,
That's true.
and that's kind of what he is, more than royalty, more than a lineage of honor.
But
Because
it's
he's not honorable.
But he's also not like he's not an entrepreneur. Like he doesn't.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
What do you call it? You're saying he's a treasure hunter who is not entrepreneurial?
Yeah, because
No,
he's not.
false.
No, look.
You cannot be you can be a banker who's not entrepreneurial. You cannot be a treasure hunter who isn't entrepreneurial.
I do see, but I think.
You're risking everything for the treasure.
Yeah.
That's what hunting treasure is.
Yeah, but that's it though. There's no like.
That's it.
So what I guess when I think of like merchants and like
Yeah.
having a business that there is like a social component to that you are relying on like the structure of the community that you're in, that like you sell your goods to other people, you provide services to other people.
I mean, he's a small business owner. That's what WarioWare is. He like is making a
Ooh,
video game.
Okay, that's
that
true.
like
Yeah, I mean, he is sounding like the business leader of tomorrow.
all right, I'll take him. He's a golden deer.
I mean, he really resents that Mario got into Black Eagle, but he's just gonna have to deal with it.
All right, next up is the Fonz.
No way!
What
I'm
a
so
surprise!
I didn't write it.
I did. So when we were talking about it before, I just kept my mouth shut.
Did.
Okay. I'm gonna say I'm Golden Deer.
Yeah, I think it's hard to make a case for him anywhere else.
Yeah, he doesn't belong anywhere else. He's not all about rules or law.
No,
He's
He's
a
not-
lovable loser.
Yeah, he's not naturally heroic.
right, and he's charismatic. Yeah, give me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty cut and dry.
Oh, I got another one of mine. Rachel Green from Friends. The character Jennifer Aniston played, if anyone
Yeah.
doesn't know the characters' names from that sitcom. She is she's spoiled.
Mhm.
In term, I mean, I know I keep bringing it back to class, but that's one of the easiest, like, first
Yeah.
things. So she is, upper class and was raised with, Scarlett O'Hara style,
Right.
but 90s New York.
And also doesn't let that like bring down like when she's working in the coffee shop.
Oh, yeah.
She's still like high class.
Yeah, she is.
Even while working at the coffee
Yep.
shop.
I mean, we ended up putting Scarlett O'Hara, and even though she wasn't official, we had Miss Piggy going Black Eagle, right?
Oh, no, poor
and I
Rachel.
feel like it's a good guiding light. I think that's kind of where
Yeah.
Rachel fits.
I mean, she is a sweet person
Mm-hmm.
more than
Mhm.
those other two people, really.
Yeah,
Like
That's fair.
You know, she will actually be kind to people, but I think she's just the kindest Black Eagle, right? Like I
yeah,
don't.
I think
yeah. I
that's
mean,
right.
Black Eagle can be a spectrum.
Yeah, and maybe she fails out of Black Eagle and gets thrown in a wedding dress, and then she shows up at Golden Deer, and they all like welcome her in, and it's
Because
like,
that's the kind of people Golden Deer are.
oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's true.
Okay,
Uh,
I'm claiming her,
Okay.
Rachel.
Bilbo Baggins.
Hmm.
Bilbo is selfish.
He's driven to selfishness, right, by the ring.
No, I mean, I think he like
think he's
starts
just
out fairly like
yeah,
like fairly selfish.
yeah, and I guess it is hard to like classify him as like a man of the people. Like he kind of just wants to be alone.
Yeah.
And left alone.
Yeah. Begrudgingly goes on an adventure.
I think we can say that he's not a Golden Deer.
I think that's probably right.
Mhm.
Also, just like in terms of like you go back to class, like he is part of a respected family in Hobbiton.
Yeah. Do you think he is more about tradition than not?
Yeah, I mean he breaks with it eventually, and then
Right.
like goes on the. And when I say eventually, I do mean in the first 20 pages of the book.
Which that's, I mean,
Yeah,
if we're talking first 20 pages, like the first page.
that's right. But he always wants to get back to Hobbiton, and like
So looking at this here, it's like I just don't feel like he's very, as you wrote here, like bound to duty necessarily as much as he is like tradition and like rigid social structure.
Right. And it's hard to blame him for what the ring does to him,
right.
but he's certainly under the influence of the ring willing to do things for the power of the ring. You know, like
Yeah.
he is compromisable or willing to compromise. But I guess it's hard because how much choice do you have when the
Right,
ring
because
starts doing its
if we're
voodoo
talking
that it
if we're
does?
talking Sauron, he goes right into the Black Eagles.
Yeah. That was easy.
What
What about Samwise?
Golden Deer.
Yeah, of course.
So where does that mean that we think Bilbo Baggins goes?
I can't claim him for the blue line.
Then I feel like he is by default a Black Eagle then.
There you go.
But like I mean, if we'll have to do a ranking within like the
Yeah,
houses
it's true.
to see like who's
Who is the most.
It's the most
Right.
pure
Yeah.
of
Okay.
All right, Ryan.
all right.
Oh wait, I think you just went, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, but Jessica Rabbit.
Whew.
Now again, you got to
Man.
separate the image from the woman.
Right.
Right.
Because she's not bad, she's just drawn that way.
Yeah.
That's right.
And maybe she'll pay patty cake with your boss, but it's only to get you out of the slammer.
That's right.
It's hard to know with like with a lot of these it was very easy to say like what their main motivations fell into one of these three,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but her motivation in the film is really just love.
Yep.
Which to me I guess makes her either a Golden Deer or a
Or
Blue
Blue
Lion.
Lion.
I'm leaning towards Golden Deer
I
just
think
because that
she-
seems the
yeah.
most like not emotional in like a like bad sort of way, but just like led more by their but not even then because she is like I mean using all these terms that sound negative like calculating, right? Like
Yeah.
she is
Yeah.
like she like will play patty cake,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she's playing within the social structure that's there.
right?
But she's also being highly, if you couldn't call her clean cut.
Right.
She adopts a persona in a calculating way. I mean, yes, because of, cartoon patriarchy, she had to make certain choices, but
Right.
She also could have. I mean, she's making the choices that she's making.
Sure.
She's almost like a spy.
Yeah, she is.
And then she's
little bit.
she has a cover. Because really, her primary thing is to be a doting wife to Roger, but that's not how she actually can survive.
Well, and I guess in like the one of the more like just like revealing moments about her is when Eddie's like, honestly, I don't know what you see in that guy, and she goes, he makes me laugh. Like that's the most important thing to her. She might be a golden deer.
I think she's gonna want to. Here's the thing: she's very smart.
Yeah.
She wants to be with the golden deer. She does not want to hang out with either of the other groups.
No, definitely not.
So she's gonna get into golden deer she's gonna figure out a way in.
Yeah, but I don't know that I don't know that she is a golden deer. Other than that's just like the group she wants to hang out with.
Yeah.
To me, I think she's a blue lion, maybe not like one who's like all about like duty and honor and like being really clean cut.
But like love is a form of that, right?
Yeah,
right.
She is about loyalty and fealty.
Yeah, maybe she is a blue lion.
I think she's a blue lion who like wants to be a golden deer.
Yeah.
But like that's just not who and she's like drawn to be a golden deer, but that's not who she really is.
Right.
All right, I'll take her. Welcome, Jessica.
So who pulls next then?
Okay.
Ryan.
Okay. This is good, guys. This is I'm very excited about these teams.
Frodo Baggins.
when you pulled Bilbo, I was like, did I write down Bilbo? Or did I write down the wrong one? Yeah, so I wrote down Frodo.
And Bilbo went to the Black Eagles.
He did. I think Frodo's more of a golden deer.
Yeah, I think so too.
Who is like raised in the tradition of blue lions, everybody in his family.
Right.
except Bilbo.
Except for Bilbo.
But like everybody really is kind of like a blue lion. But I feel like he's very driven by his heart.
But he also like he takes the order from Gandalf though, right? And like takes the ring all the way to like there's something he is respecting like the power structure above him to like carry the ring all that way.
But I think out of a sense of like, I mean, so actually maybe this is a point in like the Blue Lions column, but to me it's more than a sense of just like duty. Like when I don't know, like when they're arguing about how the ring should get to Mordor, and then he's the one who like steps up and says like I'll take it, even though he's like really ill suited for it.
Yeah.
To me that isn't really. I guess I feel there's a distinction between like duty, like being like a soldier, and then being just a normal average person who has to rise to the occasion, and that who I think is Frodo is more, and I think that kind of makes him more of a golden deer. Yeah,
and I guess there is like an altruism to that too. That is part of like the golden deer agenda. So maybe
because he knows like what the deal is with the ring from the moment.
Yeah.
He throws in the fire. He sees the words, yada yada yada. Like,
but I don't think he like he doesn't really know.
I mean, Gandalf like spells it out pretty clearly.
That's true.
Like, I feel
he
like
speaks that evil tongue.
The
lights get dim.
But does he really know like the ramifications of carrying it and like what that's going to do?
I don't think he knows all that, but he knows that the mission he's on. It's not that it's just that a mission from somebody he respects. It's that he knows this mission is very important to the world. And so I feel like that's where the altruistic part of it is.
Yeah.
It's because he's making, at first he thinks it's just a long walk that he's sacrificing, but you're right. It's much more. He's compromising everything about himself. He just doesn't, you're right. He doesn't know that, but he's doing an heroic thing, not just fulfilling Gandalf's orders. At least that's how
all right.
I see Frodo. He's yours.
I will claim him. I will pull the next name. Happy Gilmore.
That's such an interesting one.
Oh boy. I'm kind of using like ones we've already done. As like
the barometer.
Yeah. And to me he's kind of like a Fonzie. Or not a Fonzie, a Fozzie.
Okay.
Oh.
I was like, whoa. Yeah, he's a Fozzie. But he has delusions of grandeur. That's like part of his whole problem.
Yeah.
He thinks he can be a
Mhm.
professional hockey player. He doesn't actually have what it takes.
Right.
And that's part of the, I could break down the whole movie
Well,
for you guys.
and he has
But
a strong sense of duty towards his grandmother.
He has a lot of sense of duty. He has big ideas.
no regard for social structure.
No, and has a very
none.
hard time controlling himself.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of these houses punches Bob Barker?
I feel like that's a Golden Deer move.
All right. I mean,
Who's no one in Blue Lions or Black? Well, maybe Blue Lions at like certain bars, but Black Eagles are not getting into bar fights. Golden Deer are getting into bar fights.
yeah, that's a good point. All right, I'll take him.
All right. Next up is Jessica Fletcher. This is so funny because this was another one that I was like, did I write this one down? Because I thought about it, but I went with Matlock instead.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm going to start by saying I think she's a blue lion.
Yeah.
I think that's probably right.
Law-abiding.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch episodes of Murder, She Wrote, she's very, like, matter-of-fact to everybody.
Yes.
Which is like a quality. Every time I'm watching Murder, She Wrote, which is a lot recently.
It's great, and it's on Amazon Prime.
It's on Amazon Prime. I'm always like, man, I wish I could have be more like Jessica Fletcher in social interactions. She just says what she's thinking.
She does,
right?
and she gets invited to really cool parties.
She does, and she like gets to have sex with a lot of age-appropriate men.
Yes, off screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she is law abiding. Though you've seen episodes, sometimes she covers up murders.
She does sometimes cover up murders. She's also like, she is an ally of the truth, not necessarily an ally of like the police.
That's true, but it's the duty. If we talked about her duty is to the truth or to her new friend who just got accused of murder.
Which ends up being the truth.
Ends up being the truth.
Yeah.
Luckily. Honestly, that would be a different kind of show where if it was not a defense lawyer, just a person who keeps making friends with people who commit murders and it gets them exonerated.
Them off.
All right. Are you guys down with me taking
Yeah, I think it's very clear.
And then I believe it's Ryan's
Oh,
pull.
sorry. I got to get on this. All right. Milhouse Van Houten.
Milhouse from The Simpsons.
Yes.
The best Simpsons character.
Okay.
I was like, is that this episode? Or I think.
Definitively.
Wow. Interesting. I think I like Milhouse's dad better than Milhouse. But we can talk about it.
Yeah, I may like Milhouse's mom better than Milhouse.
But honestly, are we back to why Milhouse is who Milhouse is?
Yeah.
And now we're back to why he's great. Oh man, no one asked for him in their group.
That's true. He
I don't
tagged along with someone else.
And he's not a lovable loser.
No, he's just a straight up loser. And he deference to authority like you would not believe, right?
But I think he's a blue lion.
I think he's probably a blue
And they
lion
never
too.
talk. They don't like him. So he hangs out with the Black Eagles. Like, not the cool ones.
You know, I bet they don't like him in the Blue Lions, but they see his utility.
The way Lisa sees his utility.
I was thinking like the way Bart sees his utility.
But I would say Bart is not a blue lion.
No.
Lisa is a blue lion.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Lisa would ignore him or would be like, go see Bart.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
perfect.
I don't know. I'm using a lot of episodes of Simpsons in my mind.
No, you're right. Lisa is a blue lion. Bart is a black eagle.
I think so.
Milhouse is a blue lion.
Well, and what's funny is Homer and Marge are both golden deer.
Yeah, but for different reasons.
Yeah. And Maggie secretly runs the whole thing.
Yeah, Maggie's a black eagle.
Maggie's a black eagle.
A much better black eagle than her brother could ever be. All right.
So yeah, Blue Lion, I think.
All right, sweet.
All right, now I will pull a name here. We're running low.
Yeah.
Okay. Lightning McQueen.
I forgot. I wrote that down. From the Cars franchise.
Well, I could tell by Patrick's reaction he didn't write it. And I
That's
knew
right.
I didn't write it. And I was like, how did that happen? Lightning McQueen. I know him mostly from the ride at Cars Land.
Okay.
Radiator Springs. No,
Ra-
that's the name of the whole.
No, Radiator Springs.
Radiator
Racers.
Springs is
Right,
the
okay.
look. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw original Cars,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't seen any of the sequels.
I've seen Cars 3, actually. I haven't seen Cars 2. The
Okay.
one that's like a spy thriller.
Yeah. And then one Mater is like the main dude.
That's the second one.
Yeah. Who? I mean, I know exactly who asked for that. But I did not ask for that. Okay.
Lightning McQueen. He is ambitious, kind
Have
of
you seen Doc Hollywood? Oh wait, you've seen the first Cars, so you have seen Doc Hollywood. I was trying to like help give you like another gauge, but yeah,
yes.
but
I
you're
know
right,
the
you've
plot
seen,
of Cars very well because
Yeah.
yes, I've seen Doc Hollywood.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's egregious. The fact how much they just stole the exact. Like, you can watch it. The judge character.
Yeah,
Like
no.
it's crazy.
You know how in improv, when you're,
Yes.
when you're learning improv, you're taught everybody start drinking because we're talking about improv. But like, in improv, you're taught the idea of like mapping,
Yes.
scene mapping. And so it's like you take this one thing,
Yes.
and then you like being fired from your job, and then you like paint some other details onto it. So then it becomes like unusual, right? It's like
Yes.
you're treating being fired from like whatever 7-Eleven with the seriousness of being fired from the police force. This movie was completely just like Doc Hollywood with car specifics.
Yes. And you really could have come up with it in one podcast conversation.
Right.
One improv class.
Yep.
So, but where does that mean we put Lightning McQueen?
Okay, so
He's ambitious.
he's
right?
ambitious and he's definitely out for number. I'm gonna say
One?
1, but I think he actually has a number on him, and
think
I
he
was
does
trying to
too.
see if I could remember the number 7, whatever. He's out for himself.
Yeah, I think he starts as a Black Eagle
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and ends as a.
Kind of just a nicer Black Eagle, right?
No, I mean I think
How does Cars end? He goes back to racing.
He saves the
He
town.
saves the
somehow.
town.
Oh, he convinces the racers to race through Radiator Springs, right? It's something like that.
I
Or you think
genuinely don't remember.
In Doc Hollywood, I think it's that.
Oh
No.
yeah, but maybe
I
they
think
do, and it's like the dirt track where they're
Yes,
like
'cause they're, like,
practicing,
Oh, because
and
like
that like
something.
revitalizes the town.
Yeah, and now I think of an episode of Friday Night Lights. And I'm like,
So in the third movie, in the
no, this is helpful.
yeah, so in the third movie, it's basically like he's doing well, but he's older,
Okay.
and so it's basically about him
Mm.
learning that like he's not gonna be able to be the hotshot racer forever, and that he should just like find a different role for himself.
Okay.
And that like he can help other people who it's actually I think the message of it is really nice because there's another racer who's a woman and she's always been a trainer and she wanted to be like a racer but was
Yeah.
just never given the opportunity because it was such like a male dominated, right? She just got like laughed out of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so Lightning McQueen, who was this big star for a long time, finally realizes like, oh, I can help her. She's like so talented, but never had the opportunity. I can use my like fame and knowledge to like kind of like give her that opportunity,
Yeah.
right? Give her that like
Okay.
boost that she needs. So I don't know, maybe like a golden deer.
Yeah, I don't
Or a
feel like he's
blue
very
lion.
populist, even with his like, I'm gonna use my fame to reach you back.
Yeah.
Feels like I'm still like it's still exceptionalism, maybe.
Right. Well, and I'm doing a poor job of articulating it because it's not really like that's not
Oh,
really what
okay.
he's doing. He's not really like, oh, I'm famous, so I can like help you. It's like realizing that he doesn't need to be the star forever,
Oh,
but he
that's
can
nice.
like be emotional support for somebody who like can be spectacular.
Is it Sally that he is helping?
No, it's a car called Cruz Ramirez.
Oh, I know her from Radiator Springs at Disneyland.
As do
I.
So you're making a case right now for
I don't
golden
know.
deer?
Just not. I know.
No, it's
I don't think
interesting.
he's a Black Eagle. Like, I mean, I guess you could say superficially he's a blue lion because he's clean cut.
But he's not really law abiding, right? Like Paul Newman is law abiding. I don't remember the name of that car.
Probably Doc.
I think it might be.
It
actually,
might actually
I'm
be
like,
Doc.
oh man, it's Doc.
Jeez. All right.
I feel like he chooses to become a golden deer. Like that's him moving to that small town.
But by Cars 3 though, right? Like
well, at the end of Cars 1, he's found a new hometown.
Yeah. I think you just don't want him, Patrick.
I kind of don't, but I will.
Well, it
I
sounds
will
like
take
neither
him.
if you want him to be honest.
Yeah,
and
that is true.
it's
And
just
Ryan's
not
not even.
logically for me to say. I will not.
I'll take him. I'll take him.
I have rules to follow.
Okay. Wait a second. Wario.
Uh-oh.
Somebody knew this was gonna happen.
Where did we put?
I
where
have
did we
him.
put him before?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think it's still true.
Yeah.
So wait, we want to keep 2 Warrios?
Well, I mean,
What do you want to do?
I
Flip
don't
it
know.
upside down and make
And
it.
Make it Mario?
Oh, why, bro? It doesn't work
All
like
right,
that.
I'll take 2 Warrios.
This is your turn.
Oh, sorry. Jughead Jones.
Oh. I think pretty clearly Golden Deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he is savvy enough that he is the smartest gold. Like he can outthink some of the others.
right, but it's
but-
still very much.
Yeah, he
like,
would not
a
be
man of
happy.
the people. Yeah.
Dorming with any of those other people.
No. Jughead.
Plus, I don't think you can wear a hat and be a black eagle.
That might be true. Whose poll is next?
Yours.
Okay. Oh, we are running out of names.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think there's just one left.
The Boss Baby
I'm not familiar.
of Boss Baby.
Oh, I didn't know. When you said I was like, is this a book I ever read? Okay.
Boss Baby
Boss
from
Baby.
Boss Baby.
Yes.
Quick.
Talks like Alec Baldwin.
Quick. Just poll of the room. Who has seen Boss Baby?
No.
Okay, everyone's hands down. Ryan put her hands under the table.
I don't want anyone to think I've seen it.
No one has seen Boss Baby,
I've seen the trailer.
and we know what we know about Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And about babies.
Sure. He's not a golden deer.
No, definitely not a
No.
Golden Deer. Too self-aware.
I think he's a black eagle.
I think he is too.
Because he chooses to talk like Alec Baldwin. He is
Well,
not
no,
following the
he doesn't
laws of
choose to.
nature.
I don't think he chooses to talk like Alec
Yeah, that's
Baldwin.
that's just his voice.
Yeah, I think that's just his voice.
I think he has no respect for authority. If he thinks it's a baby, he should be the boss.
Now, having
That's
not
not-
seen the film, I believe it's probably proven true that he is rightfully it's like look who's talking.
I'm a little
What?
worried.
Wait, hold
Well,
on.
in the sense that,
What do you
like-
think happens in Look Who's
Well,
Talking?
in the sense that in Look Who's Talking, they're like the human. I was gonna say the humans, the adults. The babies see all, right? Like they are
Sure.
very driven by baby needs,
Mhm.
but
But they're perceptive.
Yes, yeah,
Mhm.
more perceptive than their parents.
Right,
yes,
but
I don't think they should be the boss of their parents at work.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Well, I don't. Okay, I mean, yeah, you're right. We're in uncharted territory. I actually don't know what happens in this movie, so maybe he does become their boss at work.
I think Boss Baby's a black eagle.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Just not probably not one of the villainous ones. We gotta watch Boss Baby, guys.
We gotta
Yeah.
we gotta figure it out. Ryan, would you like to pull the last
Oh,
name
thank
out
you.
of here?
Who's it gonna be? It's Ned Stark.
Ned Stark.
Ugh, I think he's a blue lion.
I think he's a blue lion as well.
I think he is too, and that's what got him killed.
Yeah, yep.
But
Yep.
until that time, he fights bravely for the Blue
Yep.
Lions.
Mhm.
All right,
Okay.
guys, that's
I
it.
think
We've
that's
done
it.
it. We've gone
Okay.
gone through the whole
So
thing.
now we should look at our rosters.
Yeah, I think we should at least read through them.
Okay.
So, Patrick, do you want to go first?
Sure, I will go first. In the Golden Deer, we have Jughead Jones. We've got Wario and Wario. Hold on, I want to pull out this other Wario. Okay. Lightning McQueen, Happy Gilmore, a lot of athletes.
Mhm.
Frodo Baggins, the Fonz, Lieutenant Ellen Ripley, Gonzo, and Fozzie Bear.
Yeah, I would much rather party at that door.
Yeah, that is such a grab bag. Go ahead, Ryan.
Okay. At the Blue Lion table, we have Matlock, Ray, and Kylo Ren.
Amazing.
Shipping
Amazing.
available. Jessica Rabbit and Jessica Fletcher. Milhouse, and Ned Stark. There are some fun ones and some less fun ones, but that's what you get when
But
you're
formidable. I think if
yeah.
I mean let's
We'd win Quiz Bowl.
Well,
unless they
I was gonna
cheat.
say like fighting bowl. Like if it comes to violence, you've got
Matlock and Jessica Fletcher.
Yeah.
You have Ellen Ripley.
You do
I've
have
got
Ellen
Gonzo.
Ripley. Yeah. I mean, I think we'd try to send Milhouse as cannon fodder.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I do have Ray. Ray could fight.
Oh yeah,
And
and
Kylo
Kylo
Ren.
Ren.
And Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and Jessica Rabbit in a scratch.
Oh, yeah.
And Ned Stark. Like he's gonna
Yeah.
swing that sword a long
And
time.
really, I think the only one who I worry for is Matlock. Jessica Fletcher could hold her own, and Milhouse.
I think Matlock stays inside.
Mhm.
They all, I mean, I don't know how, are they all their ages?
Yeah.
They respect, they're like, Matlock, you've done a lot for the world.
Right.
They keep him inside. Maybe he has a headset. He can.
He's making calls from inside the house.
Yeah, exactly. He's checking laws to make sure that they work with what they're doing.
All right. On the Black Eagles, we have Bilbo Baggins, Rachel Green from Friends, Kat Stratford from 10 Things I Hate About You, Garfield, the cat, the entire cast of Seinfeld, Scarlett O'Hara, and the Boss Baby.
I think all of these people are so miserable.
But they're gonna get some stuff done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, guys, I think we did it. I don't even think there's any evaluating which of these
We don't have
is
to
the best
pick
team.
who's the head boy for each.
Well, okay, yeah. Let's go through it and pick your head boy and make a case for why they should be the head boy of your
Yeah, I
team.
mean, I think there's a lot of whatever the head boy equivalent of regicide is in the Black Eagles, because I don't think anybody's happy with anybody else
No,
being
fair.
boss. But I'm gonna say that I think that I think Garfield comes out on top. Honestly,
Garfield comes
Because
out on
everyone
top.
feels like they can kind of still do what they
I mean,
wanna
he's gonna
do.
ship you to Abu Dhabi if
Yeah,
like
Oh,
that's
that's
right.
pretty
you cross
tough.
him.
For the Golden Deer, I think I've got it down to two, and I'm
Okay.
not sure which one of these ends up being the leader. Is it Ripley or the Fonz?
I don't know. Does Ripley want to be the leader?
No, I think she like begrudgingly takes that.
Yeah, she would accept the
position.
responsibility,
Right.
but also like
The Fonz is also not campaigning.
the Fonz is not, but he's like sort of passively campaigning all the time just by being as stone
So
cold cool
cool.
as he is. But I think it's the Fonz.
I
I think it's the
Fonz,
Fonz. But once the battle starts,
Yeah,
everyone looks right at Ripley.
right.
No, like the Fonz and Fonz, including the Fonz.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so really, even though like militarily, Kylo Ren has had a decent amount of success,
hmm
and has had Rey against him, you can't make either of them the boss because it's
Right,
too
because
delicate
then
a balance.
one would have to defer to the other.
And I feel like the same way with Jessica and Matlock. Like they do get along, but you can't let one
Right.
think they're the boss.
Ned Stark, we saw how that turned out.
We do. And honestly, I think what I realized in talking about her is that she is maybe the best at dealing with people and manipulating situations to where she needs it to be. I think Jessica Rabbit is our head boy.
I think that's a
I
great
think
poll.
that's a good. I think these are really formidable houses.
Yeah, I think they're all really. And now I want a Fire Emblem game where you have to choose between these houses. All right, Ryan, thank you so much for helping us do this. This is a ton of
course.
fun.
Oh my God, it's so fun.
Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Sure. I do a show called Same Day Shipping with friends where we geek out about real love and fake relationships.
We'll talk about Kylo Ren and Rey until
The cows come home.
the cows come home.
And you can find it on anywhere you get your podcasts.
Mhm.
And if you are interested in seeing pictures of my dog or other silly things from me, you can find me on the internet, any social platform at Rmogge, Rmogge.
And you just had a mystery podcast
Oh yeah,
come
sorry,
out.
Ugh, guys. I do too many podcasts. I should have written all this down.
Write 'em all down.
Because the highlight is that I just did a season of an improvised murder mystery podcast. You don't have to hear that much of me, but you can hear amazing actors in it, including Mark and Patrick came on. It was really fun, and one of them got murdered. And so if you want more details,
Ooh.
that's Made Up Murder. Again, anywhere you get your podcast, you can find it.
And what about Come On Now, Sugar?
Oh my goodness, you're like, we're going
Yeah,
through
I
it.
just
Okay, so I have
plug 'em
another podcast with Colin J. Morris. The two of us are going back and rewatching Veronica Mars for the many-teenth time. And it's called Come On Now, Sugar. Though we say, Come On Now, Sugar, which if you have not watched Veronica Mars, you will understand after you watch the first 5 seconds of the theme song.
Very good.
Because that's where it is.
But you also have a defunct show
Yes.
that is all about Buffy and Angel.
That's true. That show is called Hellmouthy, and with its spin-off, Tall, Dark, and Broody, which is the Angel program, which was me and Kelly Nugent talking about the show Buffy and then also the show Angel.
And these are all people who have been on this show as well.
Yeah, so get into it. There's a lot of we make content.
We
guys.
make a lot of it.
And what's fun about Hellmouthy is you can hear because it was years ago that we started, so you can hear Kelly and I get to know each other.
Mhm.
You hear the first time Patrick and Colin met.
That's true.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, jump into the deep, cool waters of Ryan Mogge's podcastography.
I mean, one day we'll release the one episode of a podcast you and
That's
I recorded.
right. That's right.
Someday.
Someday.
All right, Ryan. Thanks again.
Of course.
Wow.
We really did it. And I know we say that after a lot of these episodes,
Yeah.
but for real, we really did it.
We really did do it, and I don't think we made a wrong classification in the bunch. If you think we made a wrong classification in the bunch, you should email us at nintendocartridgesociety@gmail.com. But also, I don't know if I want that.
You could tweet at us directly, too.
Yeah, that's fine, too, at Nincart Society. Actually, if someone has a character in their mind that they're struggling with placement, maybe email us that. That seems
then
like
we
fun.
can hash it out on the show.
Yeah.
What if you're Garfield, but what about Nermal?
Yeah, where does Normal go?
Or that egg with feet.
Yeah, Sheldon?
Fitting. I get it now.
But you didn't as a child.
Absolutely not.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the show. If you liked it, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. You can share it anywhere you share things, Facebook or Twitter. It all helps us out. On Twitter, I'm at Patrick_Ellers. Mark is at MKE Mitchell, and the show is at Nincart Society. We also have a Facebook page, which is just Nintendo Cartridge Society. Olivia Duncan made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Ellers mailing you to Abu Dhabi and saying thanks for listening.